Now imagine that I'm going to workshop, I'm meeting a new people. How can I start the conversation with them?
Nice. Very good thing. Very difficult for few people. Very easy for few people, right? And some people will never take initiative, right? They'll feel for it. Whether if I want to talk, what if this person doesn't want to talk to me? So I want to talk about the third person first. Whether if I want to talk and this person doesn't want to talk to me. No matter, you can try to talk to someone else, but at least give it a try. Don't make an assumption. Just go with an open mind that you're starting a conversation. And the most is this person will say, sorry, it's fine. No problem. There's three people. You can talk. One person, one person's stance should not decide your future and your life for the rest of the things that, there's no point of going to workshop because one person didn't talk to me. Yeah, because that person might have a bad day. Maybe the boss has fired him from the job, or maybe the wife has been upset and asked him to wash the utensils, right? Dishes. So maybe he has a bad day. His bad day should not reflect. So there's one more thing, that is mood and emotions. Your emotions are sparked within seconds, and your mood will be a resultant of that emotions for the rest of the day. For example, you're driving the car and you're fine, and somebody comes up, honk, and says something to you. Your emotions are disturbed. Now, this person has gone, right? You came home, you've been upset all day. Your mood is affected for the 24 hours or 10 hours, 2 hours for an emotion that was just for a few seconds. So, when you go to these workshops, control your emotions, right? Your mood should not be properly dominated by somebody's behavior, right? You go and talk, and you just always start, hi, my name is this. Um, um, I wanted to ask you, I really like this, right? I saw you talking, like if you talk to a speaker, I'm really interested. And so I'm going to tell you some of the experiences I had. I went for for one of the conferences for the first time, right? And it was Kiel University in the UK, and the keynote speaker said something really interesting, and I went to this person and said, I'm an emerging researcher and I'm doing my PhD. I really like this topic, and I want to learn more about it. If you can give me a few tips, right? And this person said, oh sure, I'll give you, well, let me meet this person, right? So he left, right? And this person never came back. No problem, right? I went to another person and say, "Did you listen to the speaker? The speaker's point was good. So could you explain me a little? Though even if I know the information, I'm still seeking, right?" And this person start talking, and then, yeah, what are you doing, right? So you generally introduce, right? So that's I have always done. Sometimes people have been rude, rigid, but I'm there for learning. I'm not there for seeing that how who treats me well, right? When you
Yeah.
seek information, you don't want who treats you well. You need information. Very interesting event with this. In my UK, I was doing my Doctor of Business Administration, and my family is witness to this. I had a professor who was the director of the research for my work, right? He would say, Adnan, come to the university. I'll go at 9 a.m., right? This person will show up at 4:30, right, in the evening. Then a lot of students will already have come. I'm the first one. He'll say, Adnan, I'm going to talk to you later. I'm going to deal with these people first. Okay, sir, no problem, sir. He deals everyone, right? And when sometime the cleaning staff would say, hey, it's time to go, right? And this person, and they ask him, like, now we are leaving. And he say, let's talk. And we are in the rain outside somewhere. I'm holding the umbrella, and I'm holding the umbrella and talking to him, and he's giving me tips. Sometime in the metro, bus station, subway, I'm taking the tips. I'm doing it. So once this person said to me, why do you come at 9 when you know that he comes at 4:30? Say, see, he comes at 4:30, but what if one day he comes at 9, right? Thinking that I'll be there and I'm not there, right? And second thing is, even if he's not here, I'm here to help other students, those who are emerging researchers. And they say, why do you let everybody go before you when you come early? Say, because the professor knows that I have the patience and I have the eagerness, right? I'll stay till the end. I'm not gonna run, right? and I want him to talk to me not in a hurry. So I like to do it in the metro for 2 hours rather than just for 10 minutes meeting in his office, right? So the most important thing is you kill your ego. Don't have an ego, right? Don't think that somebody treats you, mistreats you is going to affect. Even at York University, one of the person who is this the security guy, right? For now is like means whenever I used to go, I used to say, good morning, right? How are you doing? Right? There was no response, right? And slowly every day I'm doing the same. And he start talking to me. And now he says, good morning, how are you? Right? So one of the statistic professor said to me, he talks to you. He doesn't talk to us. I said, he never used to talk to me, but I convince him. My good act, right? So good act is important. You go to these workshops, kill your ego. You're learning. You are the eagerness is yours, right? These people have the jewel of information. You have the trust. So you have to go. If they treat you well, good. If they don't be disappointed. They might have their bad day. You go and try and learn. And the way they treat you, when you get to this position, don't do it. That's also part of charismatic commitment,
Mhm.
right?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Because that's what you have come from. Don't forget your past. We have talked about lots of soft skills. But in addition to this so called popular like soft skills, I would argue that writing is indeed an art and is very underrated. So, in our high school and universities, we often found ourselves composing lengthy essays, research papers with 20 pages, 30 pages. But when it comes to reality, it's totally opposite. The world is trying to go with shorter span of time. Maybe if you take shorts, reels, TikToks, and even nowadays people prefer to read contents short and within span of seconds.
Yeah, I
So,
understand that. Like, I still remember from my school life, I was not a a very studious student, but there was a teacher. She's like, see, school life teachers, some of them have a subjective bias, right? They have preferences. This is the A grader, so this person has to be a monitor of the class or a class representative because he's good in studies or she's good in studies. It's not important if that person is good in studies, will be good even in management of the class. And usually the backbenchers will make more noise because they know that this person is only good in studies. So one of the teacher, she would always show us the handwriting of a girl, and she would even praise, "Wow, what a wonderful writing! See, that's how you should write, right?" And I was like, she get given me punishment, so I was like in my punishment, standing aside, right? And she was showing this. And I said, Miss, I have a question. And she said, well, I said, Miss, if she has written some abusive words in this good handwriting, would that matter? And she said, no breaks for you. So no break time for you, more punishment. But my question was genuine, that does the writing makes a difference or the content is important? What's written is important, right? So first thing, right? The second thing is, um, you see, when I teach students, I tell them your reader is blind. You are the eyes of your reader. You tell them a story from your eyes. They don't know anything. Tell them a story that is exciting, that is crisp, that is short, and that stays with them, right? So you have to understand it's not about too much writing. It's about to the point and engaging writing. Not it should not be boring, right? And if you can convince your audience and convey your point in few sentences, you don't have to write a book about it, right? The word count should not be important. That's what I've always said, right?
yeah.
So yeah, writing is important because it's an expression, and like all other expressions, writing is also expression. We cannot say that now that the world has moved, we should discard it because 90% of the world's all official legal work is through writing. So we cannot deny the fact, but writing to convince the audience is important and it should be consider that your audience is blind and you're the eyes, so your writing shows them that what is the world. Like imagine, like right now, just for a moment, imagine that I write something, so I'm reading it for you, but you're reading it I've written something, you're reading it in your mind. So the story develops like this. Once upon a time, there was a girl. She was living on a mountain with her dog, Bruno. Right? Now, see, the moment I start saying, right, and you're reading it, the images automatically start building in your mind, right?
Mhm.
So I'm the eyes of the reader. My writing should be the eyes of the reader. They see the world through what I write. That's how writing should.
So imagine that I'm a fresher and who has just recently graduated from the university, and imagine that you're an entrepreneur. So how could I impress you with the writing, with like just stating 4 to 5 lines? How could I land up in a job in at your company?
Not all entrepreneurs gonna be the same, right?
Mm.
Not all entrepreneurs would focus on writing, right? And not all would focus on only your technical skills or social skills or soft skills, right? So it depends, and it like we individuals have different experiences, and there's no perfect. Like it's like saying that there is a recipe to it. Is saying that I'm gonna ask you, Vishal, what is your shoe number?
Great.
Mine is 10, 10 and a half. Does my 10 and a half fits you? The answer is no. Your 8 fits me? No. There's no one fit for all. There's no one entrepreneurship pattern that fits everyone, right? So that's the first thing, right? We'll keep this in mind and then continue with the conversation. So one fit for all doesn't work, right? Now we know that you go, you show your writing, right? The entrepreneur is going to see and say, this is already I know, right? You can go and write it from AI, so what's the point, right? But when you show that I have published something in international journal, sir, and I'm a content writer, and I'm applying for the content writing job, now this person will say, okay, and you can always say, sir, it's a blind peer review journal. So I've written something in international journal, right? I'm recognized for my writing. This person will have an impact, right? Automatically. Yeah, that now you're coming through a grilled process, right? When you go to an entrepreneurs, right? Entrepreneurs' main motive is like there are different entrepreneurs. There are future entrepreneurs. There are senior entrepreneurs, minority entrepreneurs. It depends on where you go, right? Some of these entrepreneurs are looking for fresh ideas, and that's why they won't. So in your writing, can you express this fresh idea is more important, right? Do your background search on the type of a person you're meeting, right? Is this person looking for numeric values, right? In how can you give the growth? Like you are applying for a sales job, right? Then your written should show this is the team I work with, and this is from 2% to 20% we increase the sales, right? And I have the strategies for it. Don't mention the strategies in your written because if you mention, why should he hire you? He's just going to read it and ask the existing people can do it, right?
Mm.
So, so you have to understand, and there is always trade-off, right? The entrepreneur is expecting, and he thinks that you're gonna work for him, right? So he expects a loyalty from you, right? You shouldn't be a job loyal. You should be loyal to your profession rather than to the organization. That's what I often say, right? So you have to do a profiling, right, of the entrepreneur, what they're specifically looking for, and then have the credential that is supported, right? That is supported, right? If you say this is my written work, but it's not published, it's not a magazine work, then the content writing job doesn't work for you, right? If you like recently when I'm teaching project management and I ask students, I tell them add it to your portfolio, add it to your resume that you know how to work on Gantt chart, you know how to use Kanban board on Excel, and when you write it in your resume and you say to the to the um, to to the entrepreneur, I know how to maintain the QuickBooks. I know how to use Excel. These are my screenshots of this or portfolio. You can see I have worked on this, right? And I know how the structure works. This person will see. You have to sell yourself as such. You know things, right? So profiling is important before that, and then you have to see what you look.
Oh yeah, exactly. But imagine that. Uh, imagine that in LinkedIn, I found a person.
Hmm.
He's He is a entrepreneur of a small company, and I'm desperately looking for a job.
Hmm.
So I want to message him. So what are the 4 to 5 lines which I can grab his attention towards me?
It's usually what people do, right? And I've seen people trying to reach out to entrepreneurs, to job people, to even professors, giving get me an opportunity, right? Networking is important, right? A lot of people will get the jobs and everything because of networking, right? What formula is there? There's no one formula, right? Sometimes you send them, right? Sometimes they'll read it. Sometimes they won't read it, right? But you keep trying. What is that minimum word count is more important. Don't
Mm-hmm.
write too much, right? Write to the point, right? I'm really interested in connecting with you. Thank you. If there is an opportunity, I can share my portfolio with you. Have a look at it. And if you think I'm a right fit, let's connect, right? That's,
Mm-hmm.
don't send a portfolio or profile of first ahead, because once you send, this person will say, he looks like a very desperate person. Like, I haven't asked for you and you're sending me information, right? um, it should not be too long, right? That I'm doing this, because a lot of problem is that a lot of people on LinkedIn, they just add and they will send you these marketing emails that I work for this consultancy financial company, etc., etc. So this would have already discouraged these entrepreneurs so much that even now, if somebody wants to have a real opportunity or a crack, a person is not going to read the email or the messages from this person randomly, right?